Welcome back to another episode of Let's Go Hunt. Can you believe there's 107 episodes of this? Tonight we have Dave Packard, bestest by the fickle bitch Mother Nature once again. Sam Alexander, recently paid off by your mom. Mike Gonzalez, Chef Mediocre Hair, and here with such things to show you, I'm Vince H. Tonight, we're talking about how 2024 went for us and our hunting goals and other such last for the rest of 2025.
You didn't read that right.
Whatever.
Other such live, laugh, love crap that we're looking forward to in 2025.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
he's not reading that nonsense.
I
Yeah.
already read a bunch of nonsense.
You know how many houses I've seen that stupid phrase scrawled across the wall in?
Probably all of them.
So damn many. Or
And those
similar
are-
phrases to it, like gather.
Those are the same people that
What does
voted
that
for the
mean?
Mountain Lion ban.
No, not necessarily, but just it's the living room and they'll have a sign on the wall of the living room that just says gather.
Or
It should say
eat
gather
in the
or
kitchen.
Yes, or eat in the kitchen. Like
Thank you for these clear instructions.
I wasn't sure what this room was for. I was gonna piss on the table.
We should make some of these signs, but they're facetious. So it's like in the bathroom, it's shit.
I'm not gonna say what's on the bedroom wall.
Wank.
In the garage, avoidance. Avoid.
Alcoholism.
No, that you put that one on the back of the garage fridge. Oh,
like we
there we
all-
go. On the bedroom wall, you just put motorboat.
it's millennials
stole
with
that one from-
emotional dementia. Like we have to put sticky notes everywhere reminding us what emotion to have at any given moment. Like we're
Yeah.
80 years old and need to be reminded to close the front door.
On the fridge, you put happiness.
And on the empty milk jug, you put rage.
On the outside of the fridge, you put happiness, and on the inside, you put sadness because there's nothing. Because you
Oh.
forgot.
Nah, sadness goes on my empty salty snack bin. If I don't have any good salty snacks around, then it's sadness.
That is sad. Sad day.
There you go. Bob fixed it for you.
Sad Sam.
Gideon Optics in the chat was talking about how in the live stream, Mike and Vince are in opposite corners where they usually are. Oh, he
Yeah,
said he
Mike-
liked it. Oh, never mind.
Now I'm thrown off.
Mike is my bottom. Weird.
Yeah, please no.
Gross.
No, it's a
Just-
spooning relationship between you and I, Dave. I'm sorry.
Hey, man. Hole to hole or pole to pole. There is no different. No other way.
Well, if you're gonna do it, you might as well go all the way.
Definitely got a sword fight. If-
So I had a
Definitely make it a measure contest.
I had a bad thought this afternoon. You want to know what it is?
No.
Beaver,
Not-
but with an atlatl. Atlatl. There we go.
Addle.
With a what?
Addle.
The spear thrower guy. You get the big dart with feathers in the end, and it's a spear throwing stick. It's a terrible idea, but I was like, "Ooh, that'd be sexy."
Why are you
Except
like
for I
this?
probably can't throw it fast enough to hit the beaver for the beaver dives. My wife had an idea
Yep.
yesterday, though, which
At
was
least you'd know where it went because it would just be this giant stick sticking out of the water.
I did think about that. My wife had an excellent idea yesterday. I don't know if you guys have ever had shawarma.
Nope.
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 Okay. Well, they're
That
like
was a band.
no, but
I
they're
thought
like
something you wore on your head. They say
Sounds
from India.
Polish.
no, it's Middle Eastern, Mediterranean, Middle Eastern, but like yeah, so like Mediterranean, but down on the Middle Eastern end of all life. Basically, you know what those Greek hero, gyro thingamajiggies are, but better.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
tell me more.
Since nobody else is gonna get excited about this, I'll get excited. About
Okay,
it.
so it's an Afghani burrito. Like-
It's an Afghani burrito, and there's it's called tahini sauce or something on it, but it's this nice tangy sauce. And I mean, there's a place. All right, so when I lived up more closer to Denver metro area before we got married, I lived probably just in a dangerous proximity to a shawarma place that was across from a Chipotle. And the first time my brother had it in when he was deployed over in the Middle East somewhere. I can't remember where. But so he was like, "Oh, that stuff's really good." I went up to see my wife one time when she was living up there, and I was living up there. But I was like, "Oh, she was under the weather. I'll go get Chipotle." And I went to go get Chipotle, and there's shawarma over here, and I have not been back to a Chipotle since. It's
Chipotle sucks.
delicious.
If there was a
Chipotle.
Taco Bell, I mean, that sounds like a gastrointestinal nightmare. Just right there by these three
It was not.
these
There was a
three
Chelsea-
restaurants. I'm like,
If you had like charged for use toilets, though, you'd make your killing.
you got to keep putting quarters in. Like, please, no.
Please,
Question.
more TP.
Well, I noticed at that
It
joint.
ejects you if you run out.
I noticed at that shawarma joint though, if my wife went through the line, she got significantly more meat on hers than I did, so I was sent her through to get both of them.
I bet you're.
So the
Question.
shawarma guy
If you
gave
make
your
any
wife
jokes about
more.
my wife,
Question.
I will track you down and tear your nose off and cut off your
Genuine
eyeballs and throw the
question.
cat in front of you.
Is this the stuff you sent a picture of earlier that looked like a gyro?
Yes,
Oh yeah, then
You
yeah,
mean
I
this-
am
very
excited about
similar.
that because it
it's
looks
very similar.
pretty
The
much-
sauce is different. I prefer the sauce on shawarma than gyros
Okay.
because to me
Then-
the gyro sauce stuff always freaking tastes like fucking cucumbers or something. It's weird.
Fair. I could be excited about this. I do like gyros. I like the pita bread that they get wrapped in. I'm sure the bread for the shawarma is similar. So yeah, I'm into it. Let's do it.
There's at least the one up here. There's potatoes in it.
Hmm.
So, we're
it's
gonna do that.
potato pita.
So it's
Potato
pita bread.
potato.
So
And
you're gonna
then-
take beaver and you're gonna wrap it in people for the ethical treatment of animals bread.
Yes. This is
Pita
a great
burrito.
idea.
They probably eat that nasty keto bread stuff though. Have you ever had that keto bread?
No,
It's gross.
I try to avoid things that pretend to be bread. I don't like bread that much, so why would I eat fake bread?
You don't like bread that much?
I
Bread's
like
awesome.
bread well
You
enough.
don't like bread. Mike doesn't like something normal. I can't remember what
Ham.
it is. Off the top. Ham. Next thing you know, you're
But
doing
only
like
Thanksgiving ham, like the roast
Spiral.
and yeah, spiral. No, thank
Best
you.
ham.
I'll eat the crap out of one of those things. I actually did. That made myself sick over Christmas.
I like the first quarter inch on the outside, and that's about it.
That's covered in honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Rind.
shave that off, and I just
If
sprinkle
there's
it
a
over. my-
ham,
It
If
tastes
there's-
good, but it's also the
No,
worst
mashed
part because it's all
potatoes.
crunchy with skin.
That's,
Mike hates America. I agree. If there's a ham in our refrigerator, it will not last the week because I will consistently keep going to the refrigerator with a knife to snack on it and slice off bits and throw it in the cast iron and fry it and eat it.
Dude, I will peel pieces of spiral ham off of a ham in the fridge while I'm looking for something else to eat.
Yeah, shit, kind of full. Never mind.
It's like that piece of cheese, like the Kraft Singlaise, where you just grab one of those. It's like, yeah, this will work for.
I'll eat string
time
cheese,
being.
but the Singlaise that's reserved for sandwiches and cheeseburgers because
look, it's been a
You
long
only
time. that
put
I've done it.
ketchup on your cheeseburgers. I don't want to hear about it.
that's all we had. I
know
wasn't
you
making
live-
gourmet.
You live 5 minutes from a grocery store, sir. You don't have an excuse.
That was with the nil guy, wasn't it?
It was.
you got some of the most exotic meat, and you're like ketchup,
This-
cheese.
Why
This
would
is-
I want to ruin the rest of it? Like, why I want to flavor the
no.
meat. Why would I ruin the rest of it with a fucking
Mm-mm.
bunny food
I have-
and tomato?
Seen less ketchup on meatloaf.
That
It
my
was
daughter's
swimming in
burger.
it.
Like I got
was my
this
daughter's.
Wagyu beef, and I'm gonna make steak fingers.
Yep. In the air fryer.
So you want to know what I made with the bunny tonight?
Chicken noodle soup.
Finger puppets.
One glove.
Oh, Garth, will you go cook my rabbit for me now, sir?
Oh yes, was Garth there to prepare it for you?
No, Garth
Just
was
the
not there.
dumplings, sir.
I prepared it myself, and frankly, it tasted British.
So it tastes
Bland.
like shit.
It was no, it was good. I was
Because
just
British
bland.
food doesn't taste good.
Okay, fair. It was really good though. It needed spice or seasoning in some way, and I don't know how to make it better. But it was
What'd you
What
make?
rabbit
did you
and
boil
dumplings.
it in?
So
You boiled it. Did you just boil it in water?
water with carrots.
Chicken stock.
Yeah.
Boil that shit in chicken stock.
No, I made rabbit stock is what I made.
You
there's
needed
not enough
to.
fat on there to make stock.
There was
made
a ton
rabbit
of fat
water.
on this rabbit, dude.
You made rabbit water,
Yes.
There was
not stock.
Now hold on.
There was a
This
ton of
is-
fat on this thing.
This
My hands
is
were
all.
sticky from it.
This is all just about time. Both kinds. Okay.
True.
You needed it. You needed to be in there for like 4 or 5 hours
Mhm.
because for a long time it was just going to sit there and be rabbit water, right? For those who didn't catch it, Mike made rabbit dumplings, but
That's a show title right there. Rabbit water.
Rabbit water.
yeah, it's just rabbit water for a while, and eventually it'll turn into rabbit soup, and then you're off to the races. And Simon and Garfunkel were right. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. You got to throw in the seasonings while you do that, but yeah, it's just time.
Yeah.
What was
The,
disappointing about it? You just didn't have a lot of flavor to it.
It wasn't it wasn't super flavorful. I wish that there was some sort of those Italian seasonings in there. Maybe a little bit of garlic. But I'm not one for chicken and dumplings. My wife likes chicken and dumplings. So in order to get her to eat a bunny, I had to prepare it in a manner that she would, something she's used to. So
You had to pass it off as a chicken.
And I basically, and honestly, once I shredded the meat off of the bones after it was done boiling, like an hour boiling for an hour, half an hour on each side, that was perfect. Like the meat was amazing. It just the dumplings, the stew, the gravy, everything else needed a little bit more seasoning.
If you really wanted that, yeah, if you wanted to get the full flavor out of what, the essence of rabbit, you would probably have to like stew it for way longer
Yeah.
just to pull out all the bone marrow and everything and get everything nice and cooked through.
This recipe did say like 4 or 5 rabbits too, and I'm assuming it meant like tiny little backyard rabbits and not a cottontail we shot while pheasant hunting.
I mean, backyard rabbits are fucking huge.
Yeah.
They're bigger than scrawny little prairie rabbits.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe it is meant for
It's probably meant for little scrawny cottontails.
Okay,
Mhm.
then as I was.
Yeah, not somebody's New Zealand giant rabbit. That's
Yeah,
like,
some of
yeah,
the meat
those things.
rabbits,
Yeah,
like
Yes,
that's 12 pounds of rabbit.
I liked
Imagine-
it. It tasted really, really good. Just the meat alone, it was good.
Guys, imagine like cooking a rabbit for Thanksgiving instead of a turkey and not telling anybody.
it looks a little funny. Like that. Don't worry about that. I
So-
got it on discount.
My, what big ears you have.
I put a little hot sauce in it, and it was good after that. Like perfect. But
This is why I don't trust you when you say anything tastes good. You're like, yeah, it tasted good. I was kind of disappointed in it though. I put some hot sauce on it. It was fine.
I'm
No,
now tempted to go
the
shoot a
meat-
rabbit just to make like rabbit dumplings that,
My problem is every time I'm like, yes, I'm gonna go shoot a rabbit. I never see any. It's the stupidest thing. And when I am not,
Yeah.
when I'm not ready to shoot a rabbit,
there they are.
it was kind of like earlier this week. When did I go out? Monday? Was that yesterday? It was yesterday. No, it was Saturday. It was Friday. There we go. Blech. I'm off on days. Didn't have a rifle with me, so what do I see while I'm out there? A cottontail that I busted out. That if I had a rifle, I didn't want to shoot it with a 357. Fucking turn the rabbit inside out. And then I spooked a coyote out of the willows at 30 yards in front of me. No
well,
rifle.
why
to
didn't you shoot
with.
that?
I wasn't gonna take a shot on a running coyote with my 357, and it was in a direction that wasn't great. If I'd taken the shot with the rifle, I would have been, probably fine taking, but I didn't want to. Whatever. He was already moving. I just let him go.
I feel like you do more damage to the bunny with a rifle to get more energy transfer.
Well, a lot of it has to do with the target resistance, and rabbits are small and squishy, so there's a
Yeah, that 223 is going to
resistance.
through him.
No, the 223 is because it's going faster is going to expand more, especially if you're using a varmint round. An expanding bullet from a 357 is designed to expand on something larger and denser than a rabbit.
Yeah.
It was
So
what
it's
I was
probably just going to make a 357 caliber hole through it, and bada bing, bada boom. You know, it's basically just a souped up 3220.
next time when I'm out with my 300 Win Mag, I'll shoot a rabbit then.
No, I said 357, not your 300 Win Mag.
Hey, when I realize I made a losing an argument, I just go the other
Yeah,
direction.
take your
So
either
he
or
deflects.
fallacy
That's
and
got it.
shove it up your.
I can't. There's already too many other things up there.
I will say I shot a prairie dog with my 300 wood mag the other day, and it was nothing compared to what my 22-250 would do. My 22-250 would turn their insides outsides.
I like
And that
turning
300
dogs inside out.
It did a couple flips, but that was about it.
Were you using your deer bullets? Deer
Yes,
ammo?
yes, it was.
I bet if you had 110 grain VMAX in that 300 Win Mag, it would just be a little splat.
I
out
don't
there.
know if I could stabilize a 110 grain.
It'll stabilize. Yeah. It'll
There's
be
one
fine.
way to find out.
How fucking
Though-
fast would that be?
Hold on, I can look.
It would be fast.
So
While we're waiting.
bottom line is, I very, very much enjoyed the meat. I would love to eat more rabbit. But I need to work on this recipe. Definitely.
Fair enough. No, I want to make beaver shawarma. That's going to sound delicious. I'm probably going to make a
sounds really
Mississippi pot roast out of one here a couple days from now. I have no bobcats in my traps. That's disappointing. That's not unexpected, but disappointing. I did yoink my optic out of the creek though after it frozen over a few times. Oh, I should have brought it down. It's fine.
Yeah,
That
we
was
could have
less
had a
exciting
visual on
than I
your
hoped.
optic. We could have had a visual on your optic
I mean, I
on
can
our
go
audio
upstairs and
podcast.
get it. That'd be great listening stuff. There's nothing to look at. It's got big old dings on it. It's slightly bent. It's been drowned in a beaver pond. It's been frozen in a beaver creek. It's been heated up within, an inch of its life on the defroster, going from sub-zero to nice and hot, and the seals aren't busted on it. I don't know what else to do with it other than shoot it with my 25 gauge for shits and grins before I send it back in to get warrantied. I don't know.
28 gauge?
Yeah, whatever. 22
Okay.
gauge. I said 22 gauge.
No, you said 25. I
Oh.
was like, I've never heard of this.
Okay, Dave.
Yep, yeah.
300 Win Mag, 25-inch barrel, 1 in 10 twist. Looking like you can pretty easily get a 110 grain bullet going 3,700 feet per second at the muzzle.
Oh my gold.
And, as far as stabilization goes, that has to do with the length of the bullet and the twist rate. And the longer the bullet, the faster the twist has to be to stabilize the bullet. So
Mhm.
having something as short as 110 grain, it will stabilize easily. The only problem you would have is if you're spinning it so fast, if there's any inconsistencies in the jacket thickness, it'll actually like gyroscopically make the bullet spin off of your point of aim
Mhm.
if it's unbalanced. But actually, most modern bullets are fairly well concentric in that way, so you don't have that kind of problem like you used to in years past.
Cool.
So get to it.
I might have to.
Yeah, that's actually, I have 110 grain VMAXs loaded in my 300 blackout next to my bed. That's what lives there
Oh.
for
All right.
reasons.
Well, before we keep going off the rails too much here,
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what
I
we do.
wish we had written down a list of what we had fucking talked about last year, because I don't remember.
Just have AI summarize last year.
Just invent a summary for last year. So this is what we talked about last year. Nobody will ever notice. But how did y'all's year go this year, hunting wise? Did you achieve anything you wanted to achieve? Did you fuck anything up? I got lots of fuck ups. But we'll call this, because we're about to roll. This will be we just finished season 2. So I have to find new intro music this week so that we can start off fresh next week.
But our intro music is so good.
Yeah, which means that Meat Eater's gonna steal it soon. They did that with the last song, remember?
Again.
Before we go, Tyler Moffat on YouTube says that the 110 grain VMAX from a 308 will cut a coyote in half. And I
Nice.
believe that. You should also be on Rumble. That's where everybody else is.
I'm down.
Come to Rumble because we're gonna get kicked off YouTube anyway.
Oh, we got to figure out when the fuck we're going to go hunting with him.
Where or when? in the
When.
fuck? Yeah, we do got to figure out.
We
when
know
in
where the
fuck.
where is.
We'll figure that
well,
out.
That's why I was asking what you said because I heard differently.
Later, my dudes.
Rumble
So should I
is a
go first?
streaming
That was my
platform.
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Well, fine. Pros of this year, very few. Cons, very many. Not quite. I did get out and go elk hunting like I planned. I fucked the elk hunt up like I did not plan on doing. But I was more stable and less fucky uppy on my bear hunt. So that's a good thing. I did not prepare notes for this, so that's all I got to say.
That was fascinating.
Yeah, no. I mean, I do remember talking about going into this year, last year, needing to get my bow issues solved. I got those
Yeah.
all resolved. And then it was going to be a solo elk hunt, so I was going to be really excited and take it was the Tree Lines Pursuit class, or I forget what the other one was called. Take one of those in the spring so that when I rolled around to archery elk season, I'd be able to go up there and really get a good elk hunt in, and then come back down and go on a really good bear hunt. And yeah, I accomplished some of those things. I will say on the elk hunting side, I've got a long ways to go there still. Especially mostly mindset on things, not getting out there and doing what I did this year, which is what I planned to not do this year, but I did it anyway, which is get out there and start getting inside my own head. And next thing I know, there's no fucking elk anywhere, blah, 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 and just turn into a putz overnight. That was not fun.
I think it took a lifetime for you to turn into the putts, but I mean,
I'm not dead yet. No, I mean, yeah, it's not overly pleased with myself on that one. And I like to beat myself a little bit, but I did get a lot better of the bear hunt was shorter because I only was able to put in, a couple days on it, but attitude wise, much better on that. And then something that takes a lot of work on my end is learning just to shut the hell up and sit still for the necessary amount of time instead of getting restless leg syndrome and going, oh, I should go look over here now. Oh, I should look over there now. So, yeah.
or look, a duck, quack. Look, a duck, quack.
Huh?
What?
When we
Look
were
a duck.
duck hunting, every time you saw a duck quack, you were quacking at it.
Yeah, because you want to get the ducks to go, oh, look, there's more ducks over there. Let's go.
But there's a science to it. You can't just quack blindly at them. I don't know the science, but I know you can't just quack blindly at
For
them.
lack of not knowing your science, then I'm going to quack anyway because I'd rather quack than not quack.
You're a quack addict.
I
He
am.
is, not me.
I like quack.
That was very exciting this year, though. Like, screw your duck hunting. I'm a coot killer.
Yeah, that was fun. That
Like
was a
the
great
whole-
reason to buy boats.
Oh, that was the best reason to buy boats. We got to get out there a little bit earlier this year.
Yep.
So that we can get 2 hunts in before they close the lake down for boats and the coot all get paranoid.
I'm gonna be out there the military weekend with my boat, and I'm gonna go straight to the island and shoot the mallards that are hiding out around the island. I'm not gonna set foot on the island because you're not allowed to touch the island, but I'm gonna go get birds around the island because it'll be fun.
Why
When
can't
we
you
were
fish the island?
something about it's kind of like trespassing in water. You can float through the water, but you can't touch the land of private property. The islands are protected for whatever reason. They could be waterfowl habitat or
Oh,
But yeah, the islands are off limits to human contact. And I don't know if you remember, but when I was doing the veterans fishing trip out there, and we saw the dude who had set up his decoys on the island, and the guys and I in the boat were like, "Oh, that ain't right," but all right, whatever. Found out later that dude got harassed by he got kicked off by the either Rangers or CPW and got a huge ticket for hunting on the islands. Yeah, I've already dug into it. As long as I don't touch the land, I'm good. Which
So as
means
long
I
as
got to
you
be
don't
careful.
touch the land.
Right.
So
Like
what if a duck falls on the land after you shoot it?
Well, that's what I was about to
And
say.
your
Is I got to be
duck runs
careful
up-
not to
or
shoot a
your-
duck.
You have a
on the land.
dog, and the dog runs over and gets the duck.
Ooh, what am I gonna do if I get a dog by the next season?
Oh no, I can see you. Like, I didn't touch the land. My waiters did. It wasn't me.
Yeah,
boy.
yeah, that real original.
I had, since you were talking about floating down the river, as long as you don't get out, because if you float, as long as you're in the water, you're good to go.
Right.
I was talking to one of the guys in Texas about that, and it would take you need a second person though, so I guess I would have to help you. You should take your kayak to the top of the river and then float down as you hunt ducks, and then I have to pick you up at the bottom and take you back to the top to your car.
I've actually thought about that.
I mean, I'm willing to do it. I don't want to float the river and hunt ducks because I don't want to try and control my canoe down that shit. But I'll sit down there at the bottom and fly fish.
Well,
As long as you don't shoot me.
the spots on the river I hunt, there's only spots deep enough for a boat in a few of the spots anyway. Most of it,
You can scoot.
yeah. If you're scooting, you're touching.
Yeah, you can scoot.
I'm not touching. The boat's touching.
Perfect.
Yeah, that was definitely a lot of fun. I am so glad we figured out how to shoot coot and that they don't taste terrible.
Yeah, they taste good. The only thing I can say about going into next year is that I actually do need to dig like the Treelands Pursuit class for e-scouting for elk. That way I can get a better idea of where they are. I'm working on getting in even better shape than this year so that I can get higher up in elevation and not get so gassed as quickly. And yeah, it's going to be mostly working on attitude, we'll put it that way. Having a better attitude on shit and not getting in my own head. I'm excited for an October. I might be going to Michigan to go shoot deer from a tree stand, and that'd be very nice.
That would be fun.
I'll take it. Also,
nice.
possibly fishing steelhead.
Are you gonna be above the line to use bottleneck cartridges, or are you gonna be
Yes.
using? Okay, cool.
I asked him. He's like, "Oh no, we're good there." So I was like, "Oh,
Sam's a youper.
yep." Because I have to get a kill with my long action AR before Mike does.
Nah, use the
Just-
4570.
Just nope. Nope.
Use it
At this
anyway.
point- no, it's about meme points at this point.
I
He
mean,
was so excited about it. I have to get a kill on mine before he does, just so I can forever say that I did.
I do have an elk hunt next year that we can talk about in a minute, but
I'm gonna beat you. Oh, and small game doesn't count. You can't go kill a prairie dog with it and say it counts.
I wasn't planning on it.
He gonna shoot a rabbit.
He's gonna turn up with a freaking
Another
A
finger
muley.
puppet.
a muley in February. Oh, look what I got. Don't talk about it till October.
Jesus, we do an awful lot of joking about
In
nonsense
Minecraft.
like that. In Minecraft, we should not be.
What about you, Dave?
I actually didn't drop the hammer on anything big this year, which I'm kind of disappointed about. Mainly, a lot of that was lack of tags and
Yeah.
also lack of time. Like, I could have went on my elk hunt this year, but by the time I got that opportunity, shit was done planned and gone.
Yeah.
So next year, hopefully, and next year or this year, I'm gonna I'm going to dedicate more time. I've got more time to take off at work now, so I'm going to dedicate more time to even like small game shit like doves. I'm spoiled because I have doves in my backyard, but I still don't make time to go shoot them.
You got bunnies in your yard too, don't you?
Yes,
They'll
And
never be there
coyotes.
when you want to shoot one, though.
and
Right.
bobcats, and
And Bob, hey Sam, you should just go to Dave's front yard and put your bobcat traps.
I could
he's
do
going
it.
to get a tomcat, not a bobcat.
Well, perfect. I can take pictures of it and post them on the internet and go, look, I'm eliminating predator species.
I killed a bobcat.
That's a
fleshed out
reference.
tabby.
Yes.
Just post it all over Facebook.
This is one of those orange bobcats you see.
I killed a bobcat puppy.
Yeah.
Jesus. Bobcat puppy.
Perfect.
Excellent.
That's a show title.
But yeah, I gotta finish my fucking AR build too this year. I doubt that gets finished this year. I'm gonna try to, but and internet, so I can talk about my hunting stories.
So we can see you again.
Yeah, we miss you.
When I see you again.
All we see is your truck.
To be fair, we've seen more of you than we have of Mike over the last month. So
To be fair, that's
Stupid.
fair.
I mean, I can turn my camera on. I just don't know how
No,
laggy I'll
don't
be.
do it.
But if you turn your camera on, then we'll be like, and he's gone.
Yeah.
Bye, Dave. That'd make us sad. Don't do that. Stay here.
Anything for next year? Not even like, oh, I got this help, but like just goal wise.
Get my daughter to kill something.
Tabbies?
Oh no, she won't shoot the cats.
Oh, nuts.
No, I love those cats. I'm like, okay. I'll
Speaking of
shoot 'em.
those cats, is Floof still alive? My wife was wondering.
Yep.
Nice.
Still alive and still slightly downsy looking.
Is he still slightly downsy acting?
A little bit.
Every time Minnie does something stupid, my wife goes, damn it, Floof, stop it. Like,
Yeah.
Floof is the nickname for the dumb cat moves. It's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, that's about it.
Hey, where'd Sam go?
He ran away.
Oh, see, he's still here on my screen.
No,
Never left.
He comes back. It's like you never left.
It's been
Yeah.
a long day.
Well, Vince,
I guess it's my turn.
indeed.
What a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as far
You've
as
had one.
I've had a year. I think looking back on this year, there's only a couple things that I could control that I might have done different. I was glad that I got my son out and he shot his first deer. That was really cool and was
Hmm.
honestly the highlight of my hunting season. There was that one time I should have done a different thing when I was doing the controlled hunt, and I probably should have gone back and tried to find that small buck I saw earlier in the day because he was out and about and doing stuff. As far as anything else, I mean, well, I'll talk about what happened. So we're actually still in Oklahoma's deer season. We're still in archery season here in Oklahoma until the 15th. And I was sitting out back on Sunday, and a couple of little bucks come walking in, and they're being real careful because, so like earlier in the season, they'll just come walking up. They don't care because there's still plenty of leaves on the trees. They're concealed. They're not worried about anything. But I have a couple of exceptionally large dogs that like to chase everything in the woods. And so, they're sneaking through back there. And I mean, they're being really careful. And I think I have a good shot lined up on one with a crossbow, and I let it fly. and I hear it hit, but I don't hear that sickening crunch that you just love to hear with a broadhead striking bone. And I'm like, okay, that sounded weird, but let's go check it out. It sounded more like, I don't know, like I shot the bolt into a bowl of pudding or something. And I get out there and I don't, it's almost like it hit the ground. That's kind of what it sounded like. It just, thump into the ground. And I get out there and I can't find the bolt. And so I start looking around, and about 15 yards to the right of where they were standing whenever I shot, I find the bolt, and it's got some blood on it, but it's mostly hair and what I can only describe as meat. And eventually, so I was looking around for blood. I called my neighbor because I saw the direction it ran, and it's like, I know that neighbor, and I called him like, hey, can I go look around over on your place? He was like, yeah, sure, go look over there. And so I went to the property line. I started doing a grid search, and after I found the bolt, I found exactly 0 blood anywhere. And I looked for about 2 hours, in the dark, but I looked back and forth and just never found it. Like any kind of sign. Like someone says gut shot, yeah, but if it was gut shot, there would have been sign. Like it would have been on the bolt. You would have been able to see refuse on the bolt, and there would have been some kind of bleeding of that nature. And the best I can tell is I probably winged him high because they were so on edge coming through, because the house is 75 yards behind me, the kids are in the front yard screaming, I'm back behind the house, and they know the dogs live there, they're on edge. And I've never had this happen with a crossbow, but I'm pretty sure the deer jumped the string, which happens all the time with, you're shooting deer with archery. But I haven't had it with a crossbow because of how fast the bolt is. Even at 35 yards, up until now, the bolt has been fast enough that it arrives before the deer can react. But I'm pretty sure I shot high and hit him. Not even in bone. I mean, and because it's also arcing down and I'm up in a tree stand, it probably hit the offside backstrap and just caught a little bit of meat and hide and held on long enough that rather than going all the way through, it was kind of dangling out of the deer as it ran away and then fell out 15 yards away. So that may be the ignoble end to my deer season unless I can get something while weather moves through in the next couple of days. Still may try, but I didn't get anything with a crossbow this year, which is a bit abnormal. In the past few years, I've killed about everything with a crossbow, but my son got his with a rifle. I shot the one small button buck with a rifle on the controlled hunt, and then I shot the little 6-point. He's the little guy right here. I'm gonna get it.
I was about to ask, was one of your goals for next year to kill more midget deer?
I'm going to kill this. I might have already killed the smallest deer in Oklahoma, but
it's the opposite of like world. You're going for the opposite world record.
Yeah. No, I'm going to find an actual
Lannister
fawn
of deer.
I'm going to be out on October 1 looking for the youngest fawn to drop out of a deer at the end of June. I'm going for it.
Is it legal? Yep. Bang.
Pretty sure that was a deek.
30 pounds worth of deer, 5 pounds of meat.
So tender.
Succulent.
Yeah.
Well,
that's as far as next year, this year, I guess now, calendar year. I don't know. Next season. Yeah, sure. I'm still going to be putting in for my controlled hunts. I've got another kid on the way, so I don't know how much time I'll have available. Just vacation time left over after that. But I'll be putting in for controlled hunts, seeing if I can get my, Wichita Mountains elk hunt, the once in a lifetime. Probably put in for points for antelope and try that here in a few years, maybe, and then just try and go camping again with the boy. That was the other thing. Like, that's one thing I need to do. I need to go e-scout a lot and figure out maybe a different place to camp. I went and prepped my campsite this last year, and it looked really good. And I'd seen deer in those places a lot in the past couple of years, but there was just so much hunting pressure in that area. And so I saw so few deer this time around that I'm considering trying to find a different spot down there to go hunt. The problem is that the roads tend to be unmaintained if they're not actually actively logging in a specific area. So the worse the roads, probably the better the hunting, but the better the roads, the less concerned I am about getting stuck back in there with a child. So
In the beer can?
Actually, honestly, if I was in the beer can, I might care less.
Send it.
Like, full send. Here we go. Like, I got to use that truck for other things, guys. Come on.
I found this here road sign. I built me a skid plate.
So I blew a tire, so I just shoved a tree log up underneath that wheel well and dragged her on out. Yep. But I may try and do that, find something. And of course, this year it was really dry leading up to the season, and I don't know exactly how that affected the deer's movements. And especially because the best source of water probably would have been the Little River, which was over a couple of ridges, and we didn't get any good rain until a couple weeks before I went down there. So I don't know if the deer would have redispersed prior to what we would call the rut before then. So I'm thinking about trying to find something maybe closer to the river for a better source of water and therefore more consistent deer movement. But I may still kick that around a little bit. Who knows? Mm-hmm. I do need to get out and try and kill things at night, though, because I've got this whole nonsense and I need to find some time to use it.
What do you got there?
This is my main rifle. I'm actually going to be using it. I got a run and gun coming up soon, and this is what I'll be using minus the thermal because there's no real use for it. But Bob sent over the Mediator, and that's what I was talking about. I got it in the 12 o'clock mount now.
Nice.
And yeah, I think I like that because it gives. So I feel kind of retarded, but I actually have the offset iron sights on this too. So I've got the LPVO, the 12 o'clock mounted red dot, and offset iron sights. So I have all of the sighting options.
Now you just need a laser aiming module and you're good to go.
Yeah. Now, though, at these events, sometimes there's a lot of positional shooting where they will have strange barricades where you have to lay down, lay over on your side, turn things sideways, and do weird stuff to try and get a good sight picture on your target. So having things at different angles can actually be really useful. But I like the idea of the top mounted red dot there. So this is actually a Badger C1 mount that has the
little extra ring on top.
The ring on top, so you can mount your stuff up there. I actually really like the Acro mounting plate. I don't know why more companies don't use that just as a default, because it's way easier to move it around. Like if you milled an Acro rail, like an Acro rail from an Aimpoint Acro just into the top slide of your pistol, you could just like screw it on there. Like it's a little clamp. You just clamp it on there and you're ready to go.
It's like a little mini piece of normal pick rail, 1913 rail, versus having to do screws down through the top or up through the bottom or any of that bullshit. It's just a little.
The one thing
I really liked that when I mounted it to the rail of my I had to get an Acro adapter for the Mediator, I think, for my shotgun, but
no, that's a T1.
What, the Mediator?
Yeah, Mediator.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking
Mediator is an Acro.
Yeah, that's what Vince is talking about.
Yeah, just wrong name.
But yeah, I like it anyway.
The one thing I'll say about it, the window is a little bit small, and it's got the reticle in it, so it's got the dot or a circle dot, And the circle dot is, you get it further away from your eye and it starts to take up more of that window and it's less usable. If it's closer, like if you're using a shotgun or as a main rifle sight, it's really useful. But just for like the 12 o'clock mount, I just like the little red dot. It works pretty well for that. But I may also put this on a 22 pistol.
I really love the
shortly. Which, if I do put that on a 22 pistol, it will be using the pick mount, so I could just swap it back and forth and leave the pick mount on the pistol. So, I'm excited about that and ready to go play with this here soon.
I do really like the option on the Mediator that you can switch between the dot, circle, or circle dot.
Yeah,
that is useful.
The circle for just a shotgun seems useful. There we go.
I like having the circle dot. The dot gives me a point of reference, especially since the shotgun got sighted. Sighted. It's a shotgun, but it got bore sighted at least using the dot. So,
right. The rest of this is what I got my Mitchell Defense bolt in, and the rifle speed gas controls, the little 14.5 pin and weld for my taper mounts for my suppressor on it, and my hack job of cutting down one of the polymer lowers from KE Arms, which avoids the warranty, and I kind of don't care. So.
Oh no. Anyway.
Oh no, my warranty. I paid $60 for this. I don't care.
Yeah.
Well,
that was all I had for the night and the rest of the year. Goodbye.
Later, dude.
Bye, Vince. So, how'd my year go, I guess? Well, to start off, I wanted to go turkey hunting, and we didn't go. I didn't go. I'm kind of with you, Sam. Like getting motivated to get up, get out, go do it. I'm gonna see how things go.
Turkeys,
right? That would make it so much easier.
If I chase them into the pond first.
What are you doing? Hunting water turkeys?
All right, now if they're in the water, I can get relaxed here.
Look, they can't even swim. I don't even have to shoot them.
You need to do a wild game turducken.
That sounds.
So what is that?
A mallard in a prairie chicken. Well, prairie chickens are protected, aren't they?
Depending on where you are,
you can shoot them.
You can shoot them here
in a prairie chicken.
Grouse, greater prairie chickens, and yeah,
anyway. In the Miriams.
This would be doable.
Inside of a, let's see, goose, and then inside of a turkey.
Ooh. But a dove is inside the duck,
right? Where would a crane be in this pyramid of?
The problem is there's not a lot of good eating in a crane besides outside the breasts. So
you just plop the breasts on top, and
I mean, believe it or not, we talked about in Texas trying to debone. No, wait, did somebody debone a goose? I can't remember if there's one of the guys from Montana deboned a goose. No, they only talked about it. There was jokes going around because somebody brought a turducken. Now it was like a processed turducken, like a turducken loaf.
Mm-hmm.
It was from the bones out of that.
Yeah, they pulled the bones out. It's from the old HEB down in Texas, and it was no. Get that look off your face, Mike. It was like actual meat. It wasn't like slurry meat, but like they had gone through and chopped off all the little extra bits that might flop off and made it into more of a nice package.
All right,
it was pretty damn good, though. I will say it was.
I wrote down turducken loaf.
But there was talk about how do we try and wrap a goose and or a crane around this, and we decided it'd be way too much work.
All right, so I want to go turkey hunting this year. I'm going to see how things go, and that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully,
well, springtime. Let's do it.
Yep.
Me and you and me.
Yep, and we can go right up to Turkey Tracks ish area because that's
I ain't getting
why it's
shot up
called
there.
that. Not the actual turkey. I highly doubt they enjoy the burned down forest anyway.
Mike's like, well, that's why they call it that.
Hmm.
There's turkeys up there.
Shut up, Dave.
I see so many damn turkeys around here. I wish I could just run them over.
We did get. I learned some lessons on dove hunting this year again. Even though I shot a whole bunch more than I ever have, and it was awesome. I learned many lessons, including a different spot to camp. I'm going to go camp in a much better spot, and it's going to be real close to the tree that I found that the doves really like. And I'm hoping it's just going to be a.
You shot a dove with an LPVO and a shotgun.
Yeah, I did. That's a thing I
In
did this
flight.
year
Peer
In-
pressure.
In flight.
on video.
Oh
You
yeah, I'm
didn't
not saying it's not
branch bash
impressive,
it.
but it was.
When I sent that picture of the LPVO and the shotgun to the fish squeezer, he was like, dude, a scope on a shotgun's a terrible idea. And I was like, I know. He's like, why are you doing it? For the meme.
Because they told me to. They said it'd be funny.
And it was. It was so worth it.
I don't know how many people I have showed that video. Look at this fucking guy.
You
He
need to
turned
start
it
an urban
around.
legend that it was a 30-06.
Uh-huh.
It was the 30-06 AR with an LPVO on it.
I got something.
Anyway,
Like you're just launching slugs into the sky like it's a battleship. Like,
There's nothing in that direction. It's fine.
hey, it's volley fire. It's legal.
my oh my. Oh, yeah, that learned some good lessons with dove hunting and should be a better spot next time. Didn't do shit for big game, just wasn't time. Same thing with Dave, wasn't time, wasn't tags. However, on the plus side, this year, I will have 6 points, and I am looking into near Buena Vista, Dave.
Yeah, I swear to Christ. If you fucking say Buena Vista again with your goddamn truck right-handed drive shit,
Buena Vista.
boot you off that fucking
you
mountain.
gotta post that video you did of your AK and
Well, I never got any hashtags. We'll get there.
make your own up. I'm not a hashtag.
I've got
factory,
no-
sir.
You actually
Besides,
are.
It doesn't matter.
Just so
because
we're clear.
We're shadow banned, so it doesn't matter if there's hashtags or not.
Why are we shadow banned?
Because
Again.
Facebook and Meta. Oh, did you see Zuckerberg came out with a video today regarding all of Meta's social media stuff about how they're going to be eliminating fact checkers and switching over to a Twitter community note type of fact checking, which basically is just AI summarizing the comments. They're supposed to be changing up all. I mean, I'm curious to see if anything will actually change. They're supposed to be changing all of their algorithms that to make a long story short, if Meta, which is the stupidest name ever, does what they're supposed to do, theoretically we should actually not be banned. But we'll see what happens. I'm not.
That
holding
is
my
very
breath.
interesting.
I'm
Well,
not holding my breath.
Nah, we'll see.
But anywho,
Learning to duck hunt from a boat was the greatest thing I ever did. And learning to duck hunt.
it wasn't even hard.
No.
It's one of
it
those
was-
good, happy, easy things to learn how to do.
Yeah.
Well, minus 2 people in the canoe trying to paddle
Yeah, that was
in
awkward.
tandem and just doing serpentines all the way back to the car.
You know, I actually wanted to bring that up. I mentioned last week on my joyous return that I took a chicken friend hunting, and he brought his canoe, and we had no problem keeping it straight. Maybe your canoe just sucks.
Were you in the same canoe or separate?
The same canoe?
Were you in a canoe together?
Yes.
Oh, well, were you paddling at the same time he was?
Yeah.
He's probably just a better paddler than I am. He's probably actually compensating for having somebody in the front. versus me just being like, I don't fucking know what's happening.
He was compensating for me
Because I
being
could
there.
keep it, I
Interesting.
could keep it going, except for when we had that really strong wind coming. I was going
Oh yeah.
just fine by myself. So
Mike, were you paddling or did you make him paddle?
I was
And You
paddling.
just say, "Port ho, sir."
Listen here, regardless of what you may think, I was paddling too.
Oh.
I don't think we ever actually got all of that story from you. We just kind of told it for you.
Bismarck off the port bow, ready the guns.
No, we
Full speed
that
ahead,
was a
Roger.
fun. That was a really fun day. We paddled out in his canoe. He sky blasted the ever loving shit out of the ducks as they flew by, and I was just like, well, he's having fun as long as he doesn't shoot me. Like, this is probably the last time we get to come shoot birds in 11 Mile anyway. So I just let him have at it. He actually managed to shoot 2 buffleheads, one of which he was just sky blasting. He got lucky. It was funny.
You sound like such a fucking grandpa telling this
know.
story.
I know.
I just let him, as long as he didn't shoot me, I just let him have fun. It's our last time.
Um,
Well, it's probably my last Christmas with the kids.
we shot a bunch of coot. I showed him how to breast out the coot, and I don't know if he ever actually ate any of it or not. I never, but he.
He's like, I'm not eating this shit.
I mean, yeah, it was a really, really good time, and I was really sad my laptop crashed right after that I couldn't tell that story. We left same reason. The wind started to pick up and it was getting hard to row.
Yeah.
But I do have lessons that we've learned from this season. We've got to be sneakier on the ducks, like when we're creeping up on them, and we've got to be faster so they don't swim away. Like, we got to be better at jumping them.
Oh
we gotta
yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, totally.
be
agree,
more
'cause
hunt-like.
That's what I noticed. It's like we're either too damn slow or too
Yeah.
damn loud.
I also want to be faster with the boat and closer to shore when I'm going to jump ducks from the boat. I know are going to be just around a bend. I want to actually approach them like I'm going to jump them instead of going right at them like they're not going to see me coming, because that tactic really worked great. And then, yeah, just getting out in the boat earlier in the season. The boat delay was one of the, like, waiting to get the boat was it was the new shiny object for me. And I was like, give me my boat. I want to go hunting in the boat. And then we finally got the boats and it was like the greatest thing ever. So yeah, can't wait to do that at the very beginning of the season next year. As far as the elk hunt in Buena Vista, I still have research to do and questions and scouting and
What
e-scouting.
unit are you looking at?
49.
Oh, of course you are.
Well, I mean, your dad said there was a ton of elk up there, and
It's very
I've got the
elky.
points. I've
So
got the
here's
points.
what
So
you do. I'll tell you good driving directions.
Yeah.
forgive me for not trusting anything you say.
Oh, do you remember driving? I went up to 49, and what happened? Yeah,
Oh, he wasn't on for that one.
Oh, I just saw the pictures.
Oh yeah,
got
well,
stuck.
got the truck off to a 21-degree angle or whatever it was. I forget exactly what the angle was, but yeah, it's fun. I can tell you exactly how to get there and where to get stuck.
Mm-hmm. And who to call.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Well, I will make sure I have his card before I go up there.
He charges $1,000, by the way.
Which is better than the 3 to 4 that everyone else would charge you.
Exactly.
Never do.
I can't tell if you're being serious or not.
I
Oh,
shit you
dead
not.
serious.
It is. If you get something stuck up there, it is fucking expensive to get it out
Interesting.
from a tow company.
That's a lot of money.
There's a lot of money.
At that point, just burn the Prado and call it a day.
Sir,
release the soul of that poor Japanese woman already.
Be sure to shoot it first. Like in super bad.
No, he's just got to like send it down the hill. Full kamikaze style.
On fire.
just trailing diesel.
Nice.
So I also learned that the Advocate's an awesome optic, but for my particular shotgun, not so much. So I swapped it out with the Mediator, and the Mediator's a much better duck hunting optic.
Yeah. Well, just in general, we learned that we really like red dots on shotguns.
Yeah.
And we recommend it, that if you are curious about it, give it a shot, because I'm not going to say I'll never shoot a shotgun without a red dot again, but that's going to be my preference from now on.
Yeah.
Just because the sheer amount of, I've talked about it before, but those jump shots.
Showing us his
the double barrel.
His double barrel. He drilled to install a rail so he could put a dot on his double barrel.
My man.
Yeah.
I have not shot it yet, but I
if
still
this-
look at it every once in a while like, man, that happened. Okay.
If this 28 gauge wasn't a gift and was actually kind of nice, I'd totally do that.
So it was a gift.
Hot.
Therefore,
Don't be
you're
a
in it
prude.
no money.
Don't
I'll
be a
be
prude.
on some things.
Don't be a prude.
No, just like those snapshots where you got to come up you go half a second to get the gun in your shoulder before you take the shot. Ooh, with the red dot is so much easier.
Yep.
Just faster. The only downside I found is that having to make sure you adjust the brightness as the sun comes up so you don't pop up and go, aha. Oh, crap.
And don't chase a duck directly into the sun either.
That goes for just general, in life
Well,
anyway.
then they come down pre-cooked.
No like burning feathers around here.
This isn't an Icarus kind of thing here. Duck hunting wise lessons, I don't think I didn't really have too many other lessons to learn. Like the boat was great. Unfortunately, the weather was extremely mild throughout most of the season, and it kept the ducks from migrating south until like literally around now. And
Yeah.
I'm hoping the next, we've got till the end of the month to go get a few more. The lakes are all locked up though at this point, and the best bet, except for probably Lake Pueblo still sucks too, because it probably gets overhunted and boats and
because that's where everyone's going right now. 'Cause
right.
anything in the mountains or even up my direction is just it's
About
ice
the
fishing.
migration, like when I was talking to that game warden back at the end of September, he's like, yeah, pretty much all of the birds you're seeing here are local birds. There's nothing that's pushed down. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen birds that have pushed down due to the cold until now.
Yeah, that storm that you guys posted in Signal, that's exactly what I think has finally pushed some down. And I'm hoping that I can go out this weekend and there should be some new fresh birds where I like to go on the river.
There was like 50 dove on my corn pile this afternoon.
Damn, they took a while to migrate.
I'm just
too.
out there staring at them like, I wonder how many I can get with one crossbow bolt. Also thinking about going full send at that squirrel that won't shut up.
Fair. So yeah, I can't do much about the dry duck season, but you know what? Had fun doing it, and we got a bunch of coot and still got a bunch of ducks and new species I hadn't shot before too. So that was cool. I do want to get a crossbow and start practicing with that for crossbow elk this year. I want to go turkey hunting, and I would like next duck season to be much better than this duck season. I think, I'm still working on my physical strength as I have been for a little bit, and I'm hoping next year I'll just look back and be like, wow, I was in terrible shape back in December. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
you mentioned you were working on yours. I'm gonna keep going that route too. So, other than my year in the past and in the future, I do have a couple other things to talk about real quick. Number one, I did have Goth cook the bunny. Well, no, I already talked about cooking the bunny. I didn't talk
had your
about skinning
Goth?
the bunny.
You had your Goth? Is she?
I had my
You have a
Goth.
goth?
My
Is she hot?
Goth. I should have had Goth skin the bunny too because I butchered
I can't
that
tell. Is
badly.
he saying Goth or Goth?
You pick.
It's
It's
official.
Gath.
Garth and Air. The Garth and Air 15 podcast is a Goth girl. Nice.
Garth the Goth.
the Garth 15 podcast.
The Garth.
Garth 15
This-
podcast.
This Air 15 makes me so down, man.
Oh, it's so dark, so black.
Okay, so let me talk about skinning a bunny real quick.
AR-15's
You don't even
existential.
understand this AR-15.
I don't know how to skin a bunny. It didn't go very well.
Did you try a knife?
Well, I
'Cause-
cut into the neck, cut the head a little bit off, and then I got a cut into the skin.
You rip them open. Bunnies peel open.
Things that small kind of just come apart. Use your
Yeah.
fingers.
You just get in there and
You got to get over the whole like.
Oh, I
It's
gutted it with my
vegetable.
fingers in South Dakota. I wasn't worried about like getting in there. I just something that small. I wasn't sure where to start. I did a lesson I learned there is I was trying to skin it and then cut the extra like foot pads, the foot pad bones off with the knife, and I was like, "What the fuck am I doing? No, fuck this!" And I went and got like hedge clippers or something, and I cut those motherfuckers off. And I think in the
Yeah.
future, next time I will cut them off first, and then the skin should come right off over that stump.
yeah,
Yep.
you just need to snip them.
Yeah.
And then basically make it good. I mean, if you want to, you can kind of undress take their pants off and then just deglove them.
Take your pants off.
I've seen guys just cut like perpendicular to the spine,
Yeah, I've seen that too. Just
grab fingers, and pull outward.
yeah, that's like a cut along the back of the neck, perpendicular to spine.
Yeah.
Put their hand in there and just go hold it by the head, grab it by your little pocket, and peel them out.
Interesting.
I mean, full on Red Dead.
He only plays War Thunder.
I haven't played War Thunder in months.
Oh, sorry.
That's
He only
because you didn't
plays
have a
World of
laptop.
Warships.
Well, that month I hadn't played it in months before the laptop died. I was playing World of Warships when it died. Like I
Your
got burned
laptop
out on War
remembers.
Thunder.
Oh gosh, whatever. You nerd.
Well, I got burned out on my video games too. That's why I've been doing things like making bunny stew.
You had to get burnt out. You had no other choice.
I was burnt out on it.
My
Listen,
computer
I didn't-
burned out.
I didn't realize things. Moving on.
Don't do
Mike's in
myself,
recovery.
man.
So, lessons learned on the bunny skinning. I think I know how to do it better next time. Cut the feet off, and then I'll try the perpendicular and yonky method or something like that.
I got an idea.
What's that?
Air compressor. Bunny balloon.
balloon.
Don't gut it. Just,
Just
fucking a little slit in the leg and let her fly, bud.
shove it straight up its ass. Just
Bonus points if it's a gas station air compressor.
3/4 in. Burn.
Hey, the air at Come and Goes and Maverick is free.
You let off the little trigger and it tells
Not
you
the
the
Maverick by
pressure.
my house. You've got 30 psi in your bunny.
You might be able to gut it too if you just shove that in its mouth and let it
Just shoot it
pop
out up
full
the other end.
send. Just
Some little prolapse going on. Whoops.
that worked.
Like
Wonder if it'd whistle.
everything comes shooting at its ass, and just one little bit. What was that? Its heart.
Yeah, nice.
Gross.
So yeah, that was fun.
And everybody at Bucky's was never the same again.
Oh. I duck hunted with my dad over the weekend. That went about as well as I just discussed with duck hunting. It was dry. There was even
There's not
Trout Creek,
moist.
Sam. You know where Trout Creek and Trout Creek was basically frozen. So
Oh, Trout Creek is totally frozen right now.
it wasn't when it was that
Oh.
warm,
Oh,
which
All right.
means, and the storm hadn't hit. So, we
yeah, because up where I'm at, it's nothing. I mean, it's thawed out in between beaver ponds where the water gets to speed up. But other than that, I mean, it's 8 inches ice right now.
I don't want to get into specifics to send people rushing to
No one's
where
ever rushing to your spot.
well, they will to fish, but so that was uneventful. We
You have
saw
a map. It's not that hard to figure out.
we have some we saw a few ducks on private land, but other than that, it was so the only eventful thing that actually happened was I was out there 10 minutes prior to first light, and I had gotten 3 decoys in the water, and I heard this sound behind me, and I look, and it's about 18 ducks landing 10 feet from me, and I was like, "Hi, ducks," and they were like, "Ah, fuck him," and flew off.
What you
you
should have
should've
done
whacked
is
that at 'em.
just slowly sank under the water and gotten from below.
Like, bloop.
You're a little submarine. You just see the little waggling legs, and you go. "Bloop."
Just a giant catfish, like a giant catfish sucking them under.
That's another lesson I learned this year. I don't like swimming in waders. I'd like to not do that anymore.
I thought you learned that one last year.
Are catfish like river whales?
I think they are
No.
if they live in
Lake
areas like the TVA and they have those giant dams and nothing but nonsense on the bottom to feed from. I bet they get huge.
Okay, hey, yeah. There's people who have talked about that, and it shook people enough that they won't. So, like Corps of Engineers divers going down to inspect the old, dams built back in the 30s and 40s and 50s. Like, it's shook some guys enough that they won't go back down there,
Yeah.
claiming to see gigantic catfish that no longer. So all of your catfish are actually predatory. Like they'll eat live fish, but they claim that they get so big down there that they no longer actually search out food. They just let it like float into their mouths. And they'll just sit down there in the current and let nutrients flow into their stomach down by like the dams on some of the bigger lakes. And there's a lot of urban legend about it. I want to go try and catch a 600-pound blue cat, because catfish can grow that big. I don't know if y'all remember back in, I think 2008 or 2009, some local fishermen in the Mekong Delta in what is that, southeast India, right? Is that
Mekong?
I think
sounds like Vietnam.
I think you're right. It's Southeast
It's Thailand.
Asia.
It's Thailand.
Thailand. Okay.
Either way.
We were both wrong.
Here we go.
We're both
Racists.
wrong, but they netted a 600 and something pound catfish.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
They thought
Some
that
of these
they
things are big enough to swallow people.
yes.
Little people, but people nonetheless.
Well, and then there's the urban legend of the Indian. This is India, the catfish known as the gooch. That yep. Nope. Look,
Please continue.
Jeremy Wade said the word over and over again, and I giggled every time he said it.
Got to catch your scooch.
Which is in fact a large predatory catfish, but the belief that a number of them have grown big enough that they can actually prey upon humans that wade out too far into the water in the rivers in India. But yeah, catfish possibly growing to enormous sizes in man-made lakes in the United States. It's theoretically possible. Catfish can grow that big if they have the enough room and enough food. So I don't know. I kind of want to just go find one, but the actually catching one's another thing, because if they get that large, and the legend goes they kind of quit actually searching out food.
Yeah, these
You
dudes
just-
these dudes in Italy caught 129 kilogram catfish.
Oh, that's like,
Well, let's be real. If you could just lay there
286
and food
pounds.
comes into your mouth and you don't have to do anything and make no effort, you would just lay there and let food come into your mouth.
oh, that Mekong catfish was
That's
over
America.
600 pounds, and they thought they netted a log or something at first until it started moving around. And
Panic! Ah!
It's like the cartman of catfish,
Called.
like, hey, you guys, what the fuck? Hey.
beefcake. Yeah. The wildlife conservation is like, hey, will you throw that bag so it can spawn? Or like, hell no, we're going to eat this. Took them like
For-
a month.
So
Not eating a catfish.
for a catfish that big, I think you would need an advocate mounted on something. And what I think
Harpoon gun.
especially
Yeah.
if you're in the Mekong Valley, I think this is right up your alley. Mekong Valley,
Did you-
advocate
rhyming.
mounted on
Valley.
your
Did he just-
AK.
Did he just valley out? Don't rhyme. No.
I didn't mean to rhyme.
Yes, you did.
Oh, this time I didn't.
Mm,
No more rhyming.
Mm.
I mean it. So anyway,
suspect.
advocate on AK. Put the advocate on my Wasser, and it just feels right. And that's the other cool thing about this year. I forgot to mention is that this year got us more, like the dots on the shotguns got us more into shotguns, got us more into shooting, got me back into shooting, got me more interested in guns again. And now I'm doing things like this, and I want to go shoot it and have a bunch of fun.
That's my T1 mount. Give it back.
Called out.
You can have it back when Bob sends me a low mount.
That's my T1 mount. Give it back.
Bob help me. He knows where I live. Anyway, but yeah, this like on this rifle, I know we're a hunting podcast, but I don't give a shit. It feels really, really, really good. It's just perfect.
Get you a lower side rail mount, man. Ugh.
A lower side rail mount.
Yeah, that one's really tall. It must be a cheapo.
Oh, it probably was. I would take recommendations on that.
Flare.
Yeah, we're a hunting podcast. I was talking about running guns earlier and what I'm going to do with.
Oh, I'm gonna low mount
Side
Mike
mount.
all day long. Gideon Optics, don't you worry.
He is.
Remember,
my
I
low
has
mount.
AK, so good luck low mounting me.
I has 3 AK.
I have 2 AK, and
I has 3 AK and night vision.
You won't get
Mm,
high mount.
What is AK?
Of the month, Alaska. It is Alaska.
this is
Only
true,
have
Alaska.
bolt gun.
Mr.
Only have
Advocate
Nagant.
goes to Alaska.
All right, so if we're gonna talk about dumb shit here before we get we're approaching the end, so I'll get this over with fast. I ran upstairs and
Don't.
grabbed the LPVO that I've been beating the crap of because
say
y'all
it
wanted to see
slower.
it. I mean, you can see the dings; that's from the 12 drops on the top turret there. Some nice dings there. Got some dings on the ocular housing. I don't know if I can get a good impression of the bend, but I bent the ocular housing down and to the right. Still
Is that
see
the-
through it just fine. What?
Is that the Gideon mount?
No, this is a set of
Oh,
low
okay. I see
rings
it now. I
on
see it
top
now.
of because it's mounted on top of one of my carry handle ARs.
I
right
thought
now.
they looked like vortex rings.
Yeah, the
and
vortex rings on a
I was
carry handle mount
confused.
for an AR. Because I'm putting on something dumb for shits and grins.
was very
You can still see through it just fine. Let's see. You can see maybe. Anyway, I
Okay.
took a chip out of the front lens. I took a chip out of the back lens. That was when I tied it with paracord and was windmilling it into the creek. That happened then. But I mean, I froze it overnight. Actually, more than overnight. It was 3 or 4 nights. I forget exactly how many. Everything works fine. The illumination still works.
So what you're saying is when you're on some goat hunt up in the mountains and you tragically die and fall into a pool of water, and they find you 6,000 years later, like Utsi the Iceman, your weapons will still be in good condition.
They'll still be able to go, look, it lights up red.
It probably will too.
Well, the battery will be dead by then. But no, that's what we know.
Yeah, it'll be 6,000 years in the future. They'll be like,
yeah,
it's good.
I'm at a loss.
They still have
Someone else-
2032 batteries.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to put some cheapo rings on this. That
If
or
that's the case,
that or
kill me.
I'll need to dismount it from the rings entirely, actually, because I'm at a loss of what to do at this point, other than do the cringe YouTuber fucking gun tuber thing and shoot it with a shotgun with some birdshot and see what happens. Because it's got
Look.
700 rounds on it for the the tier of optic in terms of like price point wise compared. I thought I would have broken it by now. So yeah, I don't know. It's got Sam's little. I need to do a full video on it, which I'll be doing here in about a month. But I mean, varmint hunting optic, yeah, good to go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to slap again because for me, I mean, for if you live somewhere where an LPVO makes sense on hunting rifle for you, but for me, I need a little bit more magnification for like a big game rifle. But for small game, for my use case, yeah, it's fine. I still wanted to shoot a beaver with it, but I don't want to wait till April now.
Honestly, that
I
Guardian first focal plane is my favorite optic ever, I think.
I've talked about this.
Fucking handy.
I've talked about it before. In terms of, I own another first focal plane LPVO. It's a 1:6. This is a 1:8.
1:8.
The reticle on this one and the 1X is so much better. On 1X, I can actually see what the hell I'm shooting at because of the big crosshairs coming up to that big circle in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Only complaint I've got reticle wise is it's got that X and I think you said you like the X, don't you?
I do like the X.
Okay. I don't like the X because it gives me so much. Because like when I was zeroing it, the couple times I've moved it from rifle to rifle, I feel like I got to look around the reticle at 8 to see where my impacts were.
You see, I never had that issue. Like it was so natural to just like completely ignore the X and then just look at your crosshairs.
Yeah,
anyway.
I'd like to tool around with a 34 millimeter too. So whenever I finally break this one, I send it in for an RMA or a replacement, whatever the hell they call it. I might be like, yo, can I try the 34 millimeter out now?
I still want a straight mill scale.
That too.
In first focal plane.
I would prefer mills.
I'm a mill junkie.
I am too. I prefer mills over MOA, but at the same time,
MOA.
Yeah, I thought about
I don't
trying to
like
mount
MOA
it.
the lawn, but I like MOA the rifle.
Thought about mounting it to my 3.0, to my PTR again, and putting even more rounds on it right now. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like that would just be completionism to get it up to 1,000 before I do more terrible things to it. But
I really like the second focal plane I have on the SIG 5.56. I like it so much that I've shot the 5.56 much more than any of my other rifles this year. And my other AR platforms, they both have EOTechs on them. And I look at the EOTech and I'm like, I like my EOTechs, but I want to go shoot the Guardian. I love the Chevron And then the chevron underneath it, I figured out that if you sight the top one, if you sight the actual chevron for 50, then the one underneath is it's just bullet dropped enough for 25 as well. So your height over bore changes just enough to set it for 25. And if it's set for 25, then it's set for 300, which is like you've got a top at 5,200 and then the tiny little angle underneath it is 25, 300. That's cool as fuck to me. Like just the way that it worked out.
At 10x.
I
No, at 1x.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean,
it should be zeroed at 10x.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
No,
if you
no,
do
no.
that at 1x, when you zoom it to 10x, you're going to be all over the map.
Yeah.
You're going to lose all that nice mathematicals.
And there is.
Well, I mean, it
the
only
second
works
focal
in
point.
it only works in one way. You're right, but I think I cited it on 1x. I don't even remember anymore. In any case, it's cool.
Well, yeah, whatever. Yeah, no. I mean, I like little LPVOs. That's my favorite type of optic. And so mounting this on top of we're getting in a total gun nerd shit right now. Mounting it on top of an AR with a carry handle. I've always wanted to mount an LPVO like that. It is goofy as all hell. It's got so much 90s SWAT energy. I love it.
I hate to break it to our listeners, but we're gun nerds that like hunting.
You need to duct tape the old D cell maglite to the side of the rifle.
Give me a moment. Give me a moment.
Weight plus
Like
15.
8 D cells. Your fucking upper would be shorter than your flashlight.
I find your terms acceptable.
This sounds like an abomination.
Oh, that's right up my alley then.
So
All right.
So, fun fact, last night, Bobbert created a new code for us, and we now have Moist. Use Moist, and you can get 10% off on Gideon Optics.
If y'all don't know how to spell, that's MOIST.
Also,
We had
our
to
other
check.
code, LGH Podcast, works as well, but use Moist because Moist.
I'm just putting moist in the show notes from now on.
Moist, fair enough.
It is moist.
It's very moist. So if you want to get your own beater optic that you can neglect and drown in a beaver pond for some unknown reason, coupon
Because
code
you
moist.
have strange interests. And
Shotgun
fetishes.
Optics. Shotgun Optics.
I haven't drowned a shotgun optic in the beaver pond yet. I should probably get around to that. Right now, it's a little frozen.
Yeah, if you're going to drown one, you should definitely drown the Omega. It's not enclosed, so...
You- No, you should try and drown one of the enclosed ones. See how it does.
All right, Mike, you're
Mhm.
up.
Oh, it's that time? All right.
No, to drown your stuff, but
Fair
it is
enough.
about that time. We're clocking in, and I can tell we've reached the point where we're slowing down.
Starting to drag a little bit.
I'm
Also,
barely
we-
hanging on.
Just
Do
like
in
your dog.
fact have a Camerado affiliate code. Camerado.com. Use Let's Go Hunt for 5% off, I believe. There's a number of patterns over there. I like Scout, but
I just want to
also,
put this. Sorry, go ahead.
also, me and Dave need to go talk to Sean about making a Let's Go Hunt specific
Mm-hmm.
color pattern.
We've been talking about that. Send me what you guys got. Like, we can...
Mike's gonna go to Sean. So I have this idea.
Oh no, I've had the idea for I've had an idea for one for a while, and I want to see what you guys come up with too. Because
Hey now,
like,
stolen
Porque
valor.
no los dos.
So I believe in sharing information with the world sometimes, and I would just like the world to know. If you require, I like messing around with AI occasionally. If you require Midjourney to give you pictures of dead bodies, you have to say they're playing dead, and Walmart will print them out with no questions asked. There will be more context to this later. Probably not on this podcast, on my Instagram, but I just thought that was funny today.
So support the sport and take
I-
a buddy
I
hunting.
can't get to my music yet.
Well, you should have been ready for the music, knowing I was going to sarcastically end it right there.
Gay.
If you like that, buddy, tell them about our show. If you don't, send them a meat eater. Hit us up at lghpodcast.com. We actually do have the merch there. I know some people on IG have been wanting to look at the Ember Storm, so check it out. Thanks for listening, and let's go on.
Hurry.
Wow, you finished that way too fast. But your wife's used to it.
We have branded Camerado
Exactly.
at lghpodcast.com.
Okay, so is it
It's wonderful.
rabbit finger puppet?
The Bobcat puppy.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It'll be
Yeah.
one of those, maybe.
Good night, Bob. Good night, Dr. Scary Guy. Good night, everybody else.
Good night, Chef.